Crowdfunding platforms. Any plans to invest in Scandinavia? I don't invest outside the US. Period. Full stop. Why? Because I don't have time to go hang out with you. If something exceptional did come up, I would consider it. I have considered it. I looked at things. But I need to be in proximity to entrepreneurs to really help. There are other people who can help you in your local regions, and I think that's great. No Canada, I might. Like I'm saying, I would never say never. It would have to be something great. But listen, I got a kid. I got to tape 104 episodes of this show. I've got events. I've got employees here. I'm old. I'm 44 years old right now. I don't have the ability to get on planes. I'm going to Tyler's conference in Stockholm because Tyler's my boy, and I got to represent and do whatever it takes to support Tyler, and I will always do that for the rest of my life. The only reason I get on a plane and do that kind of stuff is if I have to support one of my peeps, and that's it. And it's hard. Like I couldn't go last year, and I could go this year. But I do love when people come here and meet with me. So that would be like if people are meeting with me here and they're participating in the Launch Festival, that's another hack for me. If you're participating in Launch Festival, coming to This Week in Startups, coming to Scale, and you can come to all those things for free as a founder. So I'm not asking you to come to it and pay me like some scam. If you're involved in what I'm doing and you're in my orbit and you are coming to my events and you're watching the show and you're talking to me on Twitter about on the show, pandering to investors works. I don't know how to say it more clearly. If you said, hey, Jason, God, you look like you lost 20 pounds, you got my attention. If you said, hey, Chris Sacca, great interview, I love this. If you wrote a blog post about what I learned from everybody in the control room is laughing. Listen, pander to your investors. If you want to get Chris Dixon as an investor, as an example, or Chamath Palihapitiya, to say the Chamath Palihapitiya episode of This Week in Startups was life-changing for me for these 5 reasons, and here's what I learned, and you wrote it in a blog post, and you put it on your LinkedIn influencer, and you tweeted it. Chamath Palihapitiya knows who you are. We're all very egocentric and ego-driven. We wouldn't be in this position if we weren't. We're all type A's, generally speaking. We're all self-absorbed. It's the nature of the human consciousness to be self-absorbed. When you recognize the work I'm doing in the world, I'm going to recognize you. That was that whole thing I said earlier about how to win friends and influence people. It's a real honor for me to be in such a deep and meaningful partnership with the team at IBM. My first computer was an IBM PC Junior, and it took me 6 months to convince my dad to save up the money from his bar. And one night, he got home from the bar at 6 or 7 in the morning, and I was annoying him as a 12-year-old. I really want the PC Junior. It's $900. Please get me a PC Junior. And he said, fine. He was kind of half in the bag at the time. We drove to downtown Manhattan to this computer store on Lower Broadway. I'll never forget it. It was a Saturday morning. He had been out all night Friday. And he had cash. And he walked in and he bought me the IBM PC Junior. And it was the greatest computer. It started me on my journey. And now, wow, it's like 30 years later, and I'm in a deep partnership with IBM. I can pinch myself. It's really just super great to have the recognition of a world-class company like IBM who cares just as much as I do and my team does about supporting founders. So SmartCamp 2015, SmartCamp 2015, SmartCamp2015.com. If you're a fan of the show and you appreciate all the work we do at Launch Festival, please go to your local SmartCamp 2015 and encourage entrepreneurs to go to it. And then, of course, you're all my guest, and you're the guest of IBM and Launch at Scale and at the Launch Festival. Couldn't do it without their support, and it's just such a great partnership, and it's just beginning. So thanks again to our friends at IBM, and we'll see you next time on a special Ask Jason episode.